If you need to buy presents for a cook, I have the best possible ideas for you coming right up.
Knock, knock. Who's there? ToolGirl.
I'm not that good in the kitchen, but I love tools. And I have discovered that if you've got really good tools in the kitchen, it goes a long way to making you feel more confident. Not necessarily a better cook, but you feel more confident. So I've picked my favorite 6 kitchen tools for cooks, for gifty things, and I think you'll really like them. Okay, so let's start with the herb pod. It's so smart because normally herbs, they just lie there, they're in a bag, they get bad. So with this little pod, you put about a ½ inch of water in the bottom and it keeps the herbs really fresh for a really long time. Brilliant little invention, gotta love that. And it works for asparagus too. The next thing, you know how you have a knife block in the kitchen and whenever you have to get the, there we go. Well, that's the problem right there, isn't it? Somebody came up with this, which I think is so brilliant. So what it is a whole bunch of little plastic polycarbide rods. And when you need to put a knife away, you just put it in there. It doesn't matter how many knives you have, they just go in. You don't have to aim. There's no aiming, is what I'm saying. How cool is that? So that's a really neat little thing. There's obviously 2 levels. Here's something else that's kind of fun. Fiskars about 20 years ago came out with this new kind of scissors that are spring-loaded so that you don't have to work at it and you never get a cramp from trying to pull the scissors apart again. This is their latest design. I mean, it's just a little bit updated, but honestly, these have been my favorite scissors for 20 years. These are now about $6.95. Gotta love them. Really, you'll never want another pair of scissors. You know that dramatic moment when the turkey's done and to get it out of the roaster you got to use like 2 forks in its breasts and like lift it out and carry it across the kitchen dripping and put it down on the platter? Well, that's how it usually goes for me. This is so brilliant. You cook the turkey in this thing and it's really solid. It's like almost as thick as a fire grate. When it's time to put the turkey on a plate, you just put the whole thing on the platter and then remove this pin. And then you can just pull out the 2 things and leave the turkey all crusty looking and lovely. All right, if you're a vegan, I can't really help you, but if you're like a carnivore, that's your baby. This is a knife that was designed by the grandson of the guy who invented the Porsche automobile, Porsche, however you say it. It's beautiful. And it has a strange handle, but it's strangely ergonomic because it's kind of triangular. Like when you look at the inside of your hand, it's kind of a triangle. So that's what they came up with. It's really a sweet knife to use. They come really nicely packaged in a beautiful box. So if you've got somebody who's just like bored with their knives or needs a little pick-me-up in the kitchen, these Porsche knives are a great way to go. You know how you go to cut a tomato and your knife is a little bit dull and so you're sawing away on it and it can't quite get purchased? Somebody came up with a sub-micron carbide particle sharpener. That's it right there. It takes like 3 passes to get the knife from dull to sharp, and after that just 1 pass every so often. All right, because these little particles really work. So 1, 2, 3. Does it cut a tomato now? We'll find out together. Oh, 3 passes, people. Come on, I've spent hours going, and then, forget it. Come on, that's gorgeous. So for 15 bucks, that's my new favorite tool in the kitchen. This little unit is supposed to be like, instead of using 2 spoons, it's the cookie batter spitter outer thing. Why dirty 2 spoons when you can just dirty 1 implement, okay? So, wanna see how it works? So you just dig in, grab a wad of dough and spit it out. Come on, how sweet is that? All right, so then you just keep going and you have a very, very fast experience of cookie making. And I think that's good for anybody who isn't necessarily that talented in the kitchen. You just get the really, really good tools. So there you have it, the best new tools for Christmas. They're out there. And batter, anybody? That's really good raw, I've always discovered.
ToolGirl.